The Prima Vista lay in ruins, its broken frame scattered among twisted roots of the evil forest. The airship as proud sails smoldered as smoke rose through a canopy that seemed to close over the survivors like a cage. The troop that had planned a daring abduction now found themselves stranded in one of the most feared places in Gaia. The evil forest was no ordinary wilderness. Its trees groaned like living things, vines writhed across the ground, and the cries of unseen creatures echoed in the distance. The forest was said to devour intruders, and the survivors quickly understood why. Zedan Tribal rose first, brushing off soot with a grin that barely masked his unease. Princess Garnet emerged shaken but unbroken, while Captain Steiner staggered after her, armor dented yet his sense of duty intact. He railed against the thieves, but even he could not deny that survival required unity. The forest wasted no time in asserting its will. From the shadows burst a monstrous plant beast, its tendrils snapping with terrifying speed. Garnet was seized before anyone could react, pulled into its coils as she cried out. Zedan and Steiner, rivals moments before, fought side by side, blades flashing as they struck at the creature. Yet its strength dwarfed theirs and the vines only tightened. Then came an unlikely savior. Vivi, the timid black mage who had stumbled into the troop's schemes, stood frozen with fear. Yet the sight of Garnet in peril stirred something within him. He raised his staff, and a fire spell burst forth, searing the monster's hide. The beast recoiled in agony, and Zedan and Steiner pressed the attack, cutting Garnet free. The monster collapsed, burning to ash, but its venom had already coursed through the princess. She fell unconscious, her life slipping away. Back at the wrecked ship, grim debate filled the air. Garnet's breath was shallow, her skin pale, and no medicine could counter the curse. There was only one choice: strike deeper into the forest to destroy the source. Zedan, moved by something beyond duty, stepped forward to lead. Steiner bristled but followed, and Vivi, shaken yet resolute, clutched his staff and joined them. Their march into the heart of the forest was perilous. Shadows closed around them, branches twisting into walls, and creatures lunged from every corner. Each battle tested their fragile alliance, yet also revealed its strength. Zedan's speed cut through ambushes, Steiner's steel held the line, and Vivi's fire grew in confidence with every spell. The timid mage who had once trembled now began to discover the depth of his own power. At last they reached the core, where the true master of the curse awaited. The Guardian was vast, a grotesque plant beast whose body pulsed with venom. It towered over them like the forest incarnate, its roots burrowing into the ground with every movement. The battle was desperate. Zedan darted across roots, striking from impossible angles. Steiner planted himself as the shield of the party, deflecting every crushing strike. Vivi unleashed flame after flame, his fear turning to courage as the princess's fate drove him onward. Together, their strength toppled the monster. With its death, Garnet's curse broke. Color returned to her face, her breathing steadied, and hope flickered once more. Yet the forest was not finished. Its wrath erupted in silence as it began to petrify. Trees hardened into stone, vines froze in midair, and the ground itself turned to lifeless rock. The forest was sealing itself, entombing intruders with its dying breath. The companions fled, dodging collapsing roots and stone walls as the forest closed in behind them. Cries echoed as some of Tantalus's members, too slow to escape, were swallowed by the petrification. The survivors burst from the forest's edge, just as it froze entirely, leaving only a silent monument of stone trees stretching into the sky. Exhausted, the group collapsed onto the plains. Garnet stirred, pale but alive, saved from the forest's venom. Vivi held his staff tightly, still shaken but quietly proud of what he had done. Steiner stood stiff, torn between fury at Zedan's involvement and grudging respect for his courage. Zedan simply looked at the princess with relief, a smile tugging at his lips despite the chaos. What began as an abduction had become something greater. Bound by trial and survival, thief, princess, knight, and mage had forged the first threads of an unlikely bond. Ahead stretched the world, kingdoms in turmoil, hidden truths, and destinies yet unknown. But for now, stepping from the shadow of the evil forest into open sky felt like victory.